This is all right. I'll take it. I do think combined with the hard engage that is available here, having a reliable way of taking the poke that's going to come through from T1 is quite strong. And once you get a couple of backs in, Kingen should be fine in that matchup. But I've seen Zayas really bully these Scions in the early stage of the laning phase to the point where, especially if Kuma ends up going for the lethality build, then there is the opportunity to kind of mitigate a lot of the damage.
Sport space for Pyosik, but I'm very much looking forward to seeing which version of Pyosik we have got today. Because if he's on, it's going to be a very scary situation for T1. And if he's not, it should be that 18-0 that we were expecting. There's area, hook. Opportunities there, and Owner is down here as well. Immediately the flash comes out as the Heartbreaker comes on in there. Good heal from Deft. Keeps Beryl alive. And Owner will make his way out. They collect themselves a flash and a heal, though, from the bottom lane.
T1 themselves might want to go as Soul Deft.
Yeah, taking a lot of damage. Moonlight Vigil comes down. The depth charge is there as Carrier's going to fight Deft. He will die for it. But still, that's an extra assist, and you'll say it's worth if you're T1 because you got a bit of extra gold.
But also the Cole, right? That's been picked up as...
Solar Flare comes down. That is going to be the cleanse used. Featherstorm's out as well as Moonlight Vigil comes down. Deft trying to find some revenge onto Carrier. Now Pyosik at level 8 does have his ulti available. And there's also an Ahri coming down at the same time. Owner is here, a big teleport as the train has left the station, but Deft might be dead before it happens. Good stun comes through. The stun is there from the Scion in response, and the Viego falls. The timing of this Scion, that would have been Deft dead and maybe a one-team fight if he wasn't able to come down and get it in the nick of time.
Oh, and you could feel Faker looking for the Shadow Surge. That doesn't actually find it, but crucially, yeah, you got the kill on Deft. That's nice. But look at your top lane turret.
Yeah, and King is going to punch Shirley in the face.
All right, so we have two monstrously fat members. We have Deft on one hand, as he now picks up solo turret gold as well. And then we have, Zeus on the other as they go in.
Great hook, that's the Shadow Surge as well. As the Solar Flare goes down, Kingen will die as Owner's going to pick up the first reset. Turns into a Scion as well, which is pretty scary. Now looking to chase after them. There are two Scions.
Two Scions?
What a nutty time to be alive. As Owner's going to Heartbreaker, and that's going to disable one of the Scions. The other Scion will die. Kimiushi holding the fort here in the mid lane, and he does have Featherstorm available, as well as Cleanse and Flash. And doesn't have to use very much right now. Featherstorm does come out, as now Beryl, trying to get out of here, has to flash the Shadow Surge, otherwise Faker was coming. Depth Charge comes down, and that means Owner is going to help secure the kill onto the Leona, and Pyosik dies pretty much as an afterthought, as he was caught in the way. Once again, bit of no man's land here for DRX. As Carrier off to the side, will find a hook here onto the Leona. The Eclipse is there, but he's not as tanky as he wants to be right now, and that is just free. And there's no response from DRX.
Like, you need to force fights as DRX from that point on, because if you just sit around, you're going to lose your entire health bars.
Well, that item spike has been hit right now as he's teleporting in. Kingen trying to get himself out of here as Owner on the flank. It's a decent stun, but it's on to Beryl as Faker finds the Shadow Surge. Pyosik now has to get the hell out of here as Beryl doing the same thing. Decent defensive Solar Flare. Into DRX now having a group mid. Try and get control here desperately. Looking for an outer turret as Featherstorm is going to be there to answer. The Blade Caller fantastic as Everfrost keeps Kingen in place. He is going to try and drive his way out. Really decent drifting as Carrier gets over the wall and knocks everyone into the sky. Zayas picks up the kill onto Beryl as well as Faker finds some resets. He will go golden just to make sure that there's no follow-up option as Owner turns into Deft and will get himself out of there. Oh, nice little pick up there from Zeka with the vision that they had available. But that is just a little bit of a consolation prize here for DRX as Pyosik in this brush wants to try and trade, but he's not going to be able to. He just gets a little bit frightened, and then Faker will finish him off with an Everfrost.
What do you do?
Like, Charm is going to land as Carry is going to get punished for a moment. That is going to be the kill secured. I thought maybe there'd be some way for him to make it out because I've started to just believe that T1 can't do anything wrong in this game, but that was a good pickoff. And DRX going to find some value here. Let's see what they're going to be able to get. As vision around this Baron pit is definitely paramount. 1 minute on the Drake as well as, yeah, Pyosik, I don't know what this was about, but it didn't work. Owner secures that kill.
This is the problem, like, the idea behind the dive makes sense, right? Because the turret is almost down.
Yeah, Heartbreaker
again?
Yeah, just dives on forward. His owner takes a lot of damage. Well, Zekka is going to rotate over, gets the bad news that there are a lot of people here, and the Baron is still very healthy.
Oh, not happening.
Goshik also not very tanky, as Zayas going to get rid of Kingen from this area. The full reset going to come through, and Kingen, I think, is just going to die. No train has an option, and that is going to be T1's prize for catching out that Baron. Unfortunately, for DRX, they just didn't have enough damage. Depth charge to come through here as Beryl looking to try and keep his 80 carry alive. Shadow Surge going to be avoided there by Deft. And now Faker still looking to try and claim the life of the Aphelios, and Deft wondering what the heck his options are, as he is going to be out of sidestep using the dead turret as Moonlight Vigil comes down, but he is still very, very dead. Gumayushi in the meantime going to come through and tidy that one up. Double kill for Zayas. This Jace unleashed and unstoppable. 10,000 gold the lead, 14-4 in kills. They've got a Cloud Soul as well, which in my opinion is absolutely fantastic. In other people's opinions, not necessarily so much, but they'll also be able to break open the base.
T1 just too good, Atlas. I don't know what to tell you. DRX had some good moments, but even the plays that on paper looked like they worked out for them were then immediately met by a gold lead for T1.
It's nuts. The Scion is also really dead right now, as Ona turns into him, has a bit of fun there. He's going to go down relatively low, but the Nexus turrets are going to do exactly the same thing. Solar Flare from Beryl, but Ona, of course, has himself a stopwatch, so he's not dying. He's going to flash, grab one last kill, and T1 are one step away from plus 29 and the 18-0 perfect split.
No, I don't think we will.
Well, that is a sad damage grab.
I
DRX.
personally am hoping for carry as Echo support. I've been waiting for that for a long time. We got the Zek. Get the Echo in here as well, and honestly, as much as we joked, crucially here for T1, it's another draft that, barring the top side of the map, I think is very stable, right? Like a lot of these picks are going to have value regardless, even if you fall behind.
The lethality build has been nerfed a couple of times to bring it out of the forefront, but Varus Nautilus, very, very strong. As Beryl looking for a bit of a back here. As Carrier, let's see whether he times this one right. No. Ward goes down. He's going to start the back again. All right. Hook is still going to come through, and so Beryl's just going to get caught, and now Gumayushi comes down, and maybe the bottom lane is not going to be what DRX can play through after all. As Carrier might have that hook back available again relatively soon. And it is going to be the Guardian Lux as well, so not going for the more aggressive option or anything like that. Wanting to make sure that he can keep Deft as safe as possible.
Well, also himself, after what has happened thus far.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And yeah, overall, level 2 is hit. Crucially, if they do find the all-in, right, and if you get put behind in this lane, you are in for a really rough time. Because so much of the pressure of this lane comes from the shove, comes from the aggressive movement that's possible. Carrier.
Yeah, Hook is going to connect one more time. Beryl is just kind of addicted to taking these as the net is going to come down, but Carrier is still chasing. Will he get another one? Flash forward, gets the passive. Decent light binding is there, though. That stops Ona from coming down. So, Beryl will be alive, but won't have his flash. Now we're going to check out this top lane, of course. Should theoretically take a little while, but maybe it doesn't, as that is the Blade Surge, and Kingen is just dead.
The one upside of this, Atlas, is that in the previous game, we had to wonder where did all the T1 money come from. It was a question that we did not find the answer to. And I was like, you know, I've studied some tactical back in my day. Maybe we can use that. We have to find a solution. But in this game, it's very obvious. Because that's now 2 kills. Kara's like, I didn't want that kill! I didn't ask for this!
Oh, the reaction was actually just priceless.
Yeah, and Zayas already finds the solo kill at level 3. Generally, what happens is the Gnaw has some pressure, right?
Yeah, Carrier is going to sidestep the light binding. Let's see whether Pyosha can lock down the kill. Flashes, wind becomes lightning, and now Gumayushi has nowhere to run. Actually felt like it was a creative flash, but still he's able to trade one back. Deft gets a kill, as now Ona wanting to see whether he can get something 1 versus 2. Deft with 200 health is a juicy target. And Ona's going to come down towards his bottom side. The roaming Viger is the most terrifying version. As Carrier takes half of his health bar, but isn't too worried. There's the Predator. Faker looking to come down. Wants to kill Beryl. They know who doesn't have the flash.
Oh, here they come.
They are going to be able to take it. Okay, Realm Warp to bring Zeka in there as Pyosik. Wind becomes lightning. They're looking to try and grab the kill onto Carrier, but immediately it is traded back. Wind becomes lightning there as well. Going to connect from Ona. As now Deft dashing forward, does manage to help grab the kill onto one, but the Event Horizon is in, and now Ona's getting resets. Finds himself a beautiful little combo onto Zeka here as well, as now the flash forward, the last auto. Cool guys don't look at explosions, and in the meantime there's a battle on the top side as well. Kingen knows that he's not going to win the extended trade, so he does crush his way out. Yeah, Zeus going to get himself a turret plate as Pyosik moves up towards his top side. Knows that that brush isn't watered, but there's a Carrier hiding in this one. The Vanguard's Edge comes out, and now Pyosik is just going to be food. The W is going to have all that damage reduction, but Pyosik should be able to wander his way out of this one. Carrier still had, fire in his eyes.
What is this?
It's just nuts. This is also the first time that Faker's played Viger. I actually find that very interesting.
Whoa,
because Viger has been a champion in the LCK for quite some time.
Oh, no.
And now Deft is going to get paid a visit by his former teammate. And he just chains all of the CC. Event Horizon goes down, and Faker's like, thank you very much for that, kind sir, for putting that kill on a silver platter for me.
Right,
and way better than game 1, right?
As well.
So far, yeah.
But
maybe not so much here on the top side, but I mean, Kingen's having to deal with this pretty insane Aurelia, who's now going to have to try and get out of this one. Doesn't have flash available. And Zeka turned up. Wallop is going to go slightly wide. As Zeus moves out of the way of the house. Room Prison comes in. He's going to get himself at least 1 stun, but he's not going to be able to go 1v2 this time around. Not quite strong enough. As T1 push out the bottom lane, and they will go for a reset. Probably not too worried.
Oh, they're on a ward.
Yeah.
They're on a ward.
Will this be a catch is the question. Beryl comes down. Lucent Singularity comes in, and Gumayushi has been singled out. Pyosik just audaciously charges on top of him. Will be able to get himself a knock-up. Wind becomes lightning as Deft wants to grab the kill, and he will do so with the Gale Force. So that's another one.
And actually clear out the vision and use the threat of a Lux Binding, or Rise, or Pyosik diving on top of someone, like they might be able to do on this Drake. That's when they can fight.
Yeah, well, DRX are going to set up here. They're looking for the engage onto Carrier, and they will grab that kill, but they sacrifice their jungler for it. Drake is going to be up in 5 seconds. Time is now Kingen. Underneath this turret as Mini Gnar. Does have his Gnar bar building, but doesn't quite have enough of it, as Shirley will immediately be plonked down to try and open up this map for T1. DRX looking a little bit worse for wear as far as health bars. They at least still have a turret, and the Event Horizon does not connect. Gumayushi coming through with a bit of a piercing arrow, but it's going to be met with a Realm Warp as immediately Gyoshik's going to get in there. Carrier defending his bottom laner with his life as now Faker is trying to get in there, gets a stun, but he's going to be stunned in return as well. Beryl shields up Gyoshik as he comes back through. Really nice pick off there onto Carrier for DRX, but what else can they get after it?
Early to mid-game, starting to slowly transition, more objectives. Kingen.
Depth charge comes on in. He is going to try and hop his way out, but that's only going to set up the hook from Carrier. Final spark is going to be final only for the Gnar right now as Pyosik gets back underneath this turret. Gumayushi in position for a Chains of Corruption, just throws it out. Doesn't quite find his target, but does find the piercing arrow. And T1, they know exactly what's going on. They are looking for the Rise, who is now on the run. Trying to get out of here. It looked like an aggressive play, but in the end, wasn't so much. As now Kingen's going to get collapsed on as Carrier going to get the flash out of Depth immediately. Knock up as the Depth charge comes in.
That's a lot of ultimates.
Yeah, they also have Mega Gnar now available. DRX, I mean, might be just as good a time as any to go for a fight, but no, the hook is going to connect there as Kingen wallops nothing and is just going to be taken down by a W from Zeus. And T1 now get to work on this Drake at Soul Point. A little bit unfortunate there for DRX. That was looking like one of their best opportunities. And Carrier will rotate around, exactly right. Pyosik, if he can be the hero, then there might be an opportunity. He flashes in, but he's not going to be able to land a smite. It was relatively close, but not close enough. He's going to go down for it as well, as there's a Gnar into the wall. Decent work there from Kingen, but I think he's still going to go down, as Deft is going to get pulled back with the massive anchor of Carrier. And Beryl just watched the rest of his team die. Him and Zeka, both the only ones left alive, as Zeka's behind enemy lines, and Faker is looking to try and catch him out. They give respect where they need to. You can see Zeus playing very far back. Understood that DRX will likely to go for a play here, and they will trade for inner turret in the mid lane and on the bottom side of the map.
Found him.
Yeah, Carrier is looking for Deft. He's going to get himself round the corner. The Ignite goes down as Deft flashes the hook nicely, as Owner is going to get the follow, and this just isn't fair. Kingin's going to turn up. Let's see whether Deft can kite this one out. Hook is going to miss there, but it's going to be, the Aurelia turns up. Kingin's well and truly dead. And T1, they tidy up the stragglers and now look to break open the base. Unless they really want to play more League of Legends today, as Pioshik is looking for Carrier here, knocks him up, and Carrier's very tanky. As Ace in the Hole comes in, Owner's going to turn up. He's now battling the top laner. As Carrier goes golden, he will be taken down. Deft secures that kill, as Faker now puts them in the cage. And you can see over the wall is Gumayushi. Decent stun there from Beryl to stop his advance. And now Zeka, he's going to get punished for it. Yes, they thought that they were getting a pick, but I think that T1 has just turned it around. Owner happy to dive forward because he's got a stopwatch, and then there's the flash. A very easy tidy up for Zeus, and T1 are looking to complete the ace and win this game. Koshik is running the wrong direction to try and keep his team alive. And Faker, wants him to stand in the dark matter and things like this. Didn't have the ulti, but he will be able to find it. With the Baleful Strike, now Nexus turrets will go down. T1, an absolutely historical moment. 18-0 for the first time in the LCK, and they tie 2015 Summer SKT and Damwon 2020 Summer. Two teams that then went on to win Worlds at plus 29 points in the season. Unprecedented from this T1 roster.
A roster in which every single player can carry. That is the dream. That is what you're always trying to look for.
That all resulted in an amazing Worlds run, right? Getting to the semifinals with a team that they'd only solidified halfway through summer, basically.
We should have known.
And it's just continued to get better and better and better. Gumayushi and Carrier are just unbelievable on that bottom side, but now we're starting to have conversations about Zeus being the best top laner here in the LCK and stuff like that. It's just nuts. I don't think he's quite there yet, but the trajectory, as far as improvement, he's going to be there real soon.
As I've said many times, the most mind-blowing thing about Zeus is how inexperienced of a player this still is. This is his first split starting.
Yeah.
But he's played before, sure. Games left and right. We saw him rotate in and out. But in the end, last year, T1 went with Kana. And I had no idea Guma would end up doing the most damage. That's
he's Varus.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is, but still.
Who built lethality.
It's pretty funny to me.
No, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
If you pick Varus and build lethality items, you will do the most damage in the game.
Congratulations, everyone. Thank you. And we were joined by Zeus Carrier after claiming a perfect regular split record in the LCK history. Zeus, this is your first, split as a starting top laner, and you made this kind of a record. How do you feel? Me? Well, it feels good. And also, Carrier, you said you actually think you guys are going to have an 18-0 record for 100%. So how do you feel that you actually made it? I'm happy, just happy. In Korea, in the previous interview, you mentioned Beryl, that if you prepare well enough, you'll be able to get the victory. So what did you focus on facing up against Beryl? Whenever I watch DRX series, they always kind of make plays around Beryl's movement, So I wanted to really focus on how he plays the game. And we also saw a blind pick, first pick Nautilus from you. So was that also part of the strategy to shut down Beryl? Not really. It's just like Nautilus is the most yummy pick right now, Whenever I get to play Nautilus, my plays are on point. And that is why the player comp Carrier actually said, my Nautilus is so delicious. And today, the first game, you saw B1 Jace from T1 in game number 1. So Zeus, what do you think of your own Jace? That's like my favorite pick right now. I'm confident the most on that pick. So whenever I get the chance to play Jace, I feel so kind of ready and confident. What about you, Kyria? How do you rate Zeus, Jace? Well, Zeus is good at everything, so it doesn't really have to be Jace, you know? And even when he cannot play Jace well, he has other options. And that Jace was able to dismantle the enemy top laner, Sion, and at the end of the game, the gold difference was actually 6.2k gold. Did that ever happen during scrims? Not really. Never in scrims. But Sion, he TP'd down to the bottom lane. That was a kind of a sacrificial play. And meanwhile, my teammates were actually buying time for me to scale. So it was a kind of a natural result. In game 2, we saw Hail of Blades Varus up against Caitlyn Lux. So Caitlyn Lux, they're really strong in lane. So I didn't actually want to like blind pick Nautilus, but I was like, they're not going to play Caitlyn Lux here, and they actually did. So we kind of came up with this idea of Varus, something we prepared from long ago. So yeah, today was the day we wanted to give it a shot. Zeus, you played Irelia into Gnar and you got early solo kill in lane. You actually gave up your cannon minion and then went in for the kill. Did I really? Did I really not take the cannon? I was not aware of that. But I just wanted to kind of give it a shot. And Zeus, your performance and play is getting more and more consistent and reliable. What do you think about that? Well, to be honest, I try to learn from other players what they're good at. And I hope to become a player that has all the strong points of other top laners. Who's your favorite nowadays? Keen recently. In Kyria, Leona is currently undefeated for many games, and some people say Nautilus is slowly going down the tier list. What do you think about that? Well, Nautilus is a pick that you have to really make proactive actions, so it all comes down to pilots. And T1 managed to get the perfect regular split record. Now, the next goal on the line should be winning the LCK, right? I think if we play well, we'll be able to win the LCK. I cannot really say how many percentage because I haven't analyzed yet. What about you, Zeus? Me too. You know, this is my first time playing on a big stage, so I'm not sure how I will do there. So I think I have to, put one foot in front of the other. What is your mindset heading into the playoffs? Just like I said, this is my first playoffs. So I'm trying not to, get nervous about it, I hope I can play as I normally do. And I really want to win the LCK. What about Eukaria? Any message over to the fans as well? Our goal is not winning the entire regular split, it was about winning the LCK spring split, and we will do our best, and I think we're gonna win. We're gonna win the title. And this will be the end of the interview from Zeus Kyria, and I'm gonna pass it back to the analyst Carpet Space. Thank you.